How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking tier lists. So today we're going to be doing a tier list of the Torchwood series. So we're going to do every episode from series 1 to series 2, and then series 3 and 4 is kind of an ongoing long story, like what they're going to do with series 13. So I'm going to classify that as one story. So let's get right into it and see what we think. So here you can see we've got God tier, almost there, decent, stinker, and downright trash. Let's have a look at what we genuinely think about these episodes. So to start off, the first episode, Everything Changes. Now, I have recently watched this episode again, as I have the whole series, and I think that is actually God tier, because at the end of the day, it's where it all started, and it sparked interest for me, and I really did enjoy it. The next one is Day 1, where it explores Gwen on her first day, and she lets out the sex gas alien, is the only way I can put it. I think that was a bit of a stinker. It wasn't that good, but in Doctor Who you had the first companion story, which was always the worst out of the series because it was the introduction of a new companion. Where we had this in episode 2 of Torchwood, so I didn't really enjoy that as much. The next one we have is Ghost Machine. This is the one where they have the ability to see into the past, and then they end up being able to see into the future. I think that is almost there. It's good, but it's not as good as other episodes in the series. But I really do enjoy that episode with it showing the inevitable about to happen and trying to avoid it, and all the way around it. So the next episode is going to be Cyberwoman. Now, I think this was a bit of a stinker. I mean, the whole idea about it and exposing the team of not really knowing each other enough to know what's actually happening is good, but just the design of the Cyberwoman just made it so I couldn't enjoy it at all, personally. Small Worlds, I think that was God tier. I mean, the whole idea of the fairies being involved and not being able to win, like the team couldn't actually win this story and had to sacrifice it, further foreshadowing things which would happen later on in the future series. I just think this was absolutely perfect. Countryside, this was a Chris Chibnall special, I believe, and I actually did really enjoy this one because the cold open made you believe it was something alien. It turns out it was just humans, which is the worst threat out of all which Torchwood haven't faced, and it just works perfectly. Gifts, now, I think that was a decent episode, a decent understanding and character development of Toshiko, but once again, it kind of missed in a few places for me. They Keep Killing Susie, I'm going to have to put that as almost there. It was very good in my opinion, bringing back Susie from the dead. Bringing back Susie from the dead and trying to create this new understanding, and then Susie still being alive and the team not knowing what's going on. I really enjoyed that story. Random Shoes, I'm going to put as decent. It was a good episode to follow, but it was kind of their experimental episode, and it was Out of Time. I'm going to put that as a bit of a stinker. I didn't really enjoy that one personally. It just completely changed a lot for me, where it was like, yeah, it shows character development and it shows how people would react, but it just, I probably didn't understand it enough personally. So with Combat, I'm going to put that as decent. I enjoyed watching it. It was a good story overall, so that's going to be there for me, showing how Owen was losing grip on everything after Out of Time. It does follow perfectly, to be honest. Captain Jack Harkness, I'm going to have to put that as God tier because I was invested in that story and I remembered it from when I first watched it. But unfortunately, End of Days, you're going to have to be almost there because it was perfect until the ending. Like, when the big climactic scene where the whole of the Torchwood hub explodes, that should have been the finale. But Chibnall just rushed in with End of Days and created this terrible CGI monster which didn't work. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I think that was almost there. Like, I enjoyed watching it, but it wasn't the best episode out of all. Sleeper, I'm going to put that as God tier. I mean, I enjoy that when the Sleepers returned in Serenity in the Tortured Monthly series. I knew I had to get that right away. I absolutely love the idea of the story and the alien, and it just works so well. To the Last Man, that was decent. It wasn't no, that was almost there. I really did enjoy that story, but there were some things in the story where I didn't enjoy it as much as other stories, but it really does work well. The story Mate, I think it was a bit of a stinker. Great character development for Reese, but it just didn't. I didn't enjoy it as much as I probably should have, and during the rewatch as well, I seemed to get bored watching it. So that's unfortunately why that's there. Adam, I'm gonna have to put that in God tier. I mean, I love the story Adam. Or as soon as Madame I Am came out as well in the Tortured Monthly Rage, I had to re-download. I had to buy that because Adam was nowhere near finished as character in the way the cold opening had Adam there as if he was already part of Tortured. I genuinely felt like I'd missed an episode or two, and once I'd gone through it and actually followed the series in order again, it made more sense. But it genuinely leaves where you're thinking, what actually is happening in this opening? The next episode, Rest. Now, I'm going to put that as Stinker because I didn't really enjoy it that much. It was just one of those where I didn't enjoy it. Dead Man Walking was decent, in my opinion, same as A Day to the Death. Nothing majorly special, but it was good enough. Something Borrowed was almost there. I enjoyed it, but there were some bits which I didn't enjoy, being completely honest. From Out the Rain, I'm going to have to put that as decent. I mean, it could have been a lot better, but it was good enough for me, if that makes sense. Sorry, now you're going to have to scroll up and down to get the episodes, unfortunately. Adrift, that was almost there as well. It was quite a good episode, if I'm honest, but once again for me, nothing majorly special. It did the job, but not as much as it probably should have. Now we have got Fragments. Fragments, I genuinely did enjoy quite a lot, to be 100% honest, and that follows off with Exit Wounds, which works perfectly for me. The two-part ending, I absolutely love both of these parts. It just shows how much Jack was willing to do for the team, where he was dead and he was buried in the Tortured Hub 3 times, I believe, throughout the whole of his life, and I genuinely enjoy that. Children of Earth, it's God tier. I mean, I never saw this series until I was a lot older. I think I was something like 17, 18 when I discovered about it, and I obviously watched it and fell in love with it. Peter Capaldi was in it before he was the Doctor, and it was after his run in Series 4, the one-off episode in Series 4, and I genuinely believe that was a great storyline. Miracle Day, I discovered this last year and did enjoy it, but think that some bits were a bit confusing and didn't follow the storyline perfectly and jumped a bit too much between episodes in some parts. So I'm going to put that as almost there, but I'm confident that it's still an amazing story to watch. So this is actually my tier of Tortured now. None of them are downright trash because personally every story of Tortured I enjoyed. It was an extension yet branch off from the Doctor Who universe. When Doctor Who wasn't on TV, Torchwood was on TV with the first 2 series, and then series 4 and 3. I really don't know when they aired, but I genuinely did enjoy it. And I remember watching Kiss Kiss Bang as a child with my dad, and the scene where Captain Jack had broke his back in half across the benches. That was very scary for me as a child, but I also loved the character Captain Jack, and I do genuinely love Torchwood. So that's it for this week's video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week for some more Doctor Who content. If you don't agree with my tier list, put yours in the description, linky. I will link the actual website which I used in the description, and let's see what you think of Torchwood.